Okay, so we'll deal with the relative crime concept with regards to social responsibility and fairness. Now, social responsibility and fairness is a responsibility for both sides. Yeah, whether you are in law enforcement or in the crime community, social responsibility, that's a responsibility you have, and a responsibility to fairness. I'll deal with the criminal community, and you can help TIs out. Both the law enforcement and the criminals can help targeted individuals by making sure that they control the perps, the perpetrator. A perpetrator is not really law enforcement and is not really a criminal. This is just someone who's on the bandwagon. Yeah? Like, if you're acting big, those people on your bandwagon will victimize us. And it's your responsibility to make sure that the people on your bandwagon don't victimize innocent people. Yeah? For example, if you're a criminal, and I know criminal behavior, I've been around people that I've been told are criminals. I don't ask people their business, so I don't know if my friends have been criminals. People tell me they are. Some of them did jail time, so I suppose you have to label them criminals. But um, when you have people on your bandwagon, criminals who are high level will do freaky shit with their criminals. Somebody refuses to pay something, he pays with something else. So when you have that kind of bandwagon where somebody's living off your reputation, they can endanger the whole of society. You have to control those who live off your reputation. When somebody name drops, yeah, what I notice out there on road, people do a lot of name dropping. You see, when I'm hype, yeah, I'm not into criminology or law enforcement, yeah. I'm just a man who's out there, yeah. Um, I do have my psychological mental issues, so if I was to ever flip out, it won't be because I want to do crime. It would be just because I've gone berserk, right? So I won't beyond that. But whenever people think I'm flipped out, they start name dropping. Yeah, you could meet a man, um, and he thinks you're gonna do him something, and you're like, I'm not on that. Yeah, um, but then he'll start dropping names of some big ass criminals that he expects you to know. I'm like, I'm not into that world. Most of my friends, I don't know what their names are, because if they're gonna be hot like that, I'd rather not know anything about them. And whenever situations got hot, I'll ask my friends, "Can you drop me off here because I can see that the vibe's changing. You're just looking to while out, like, so just drop me off here and just do your thing. Don't tell me what you're doing. I don't really, yeah. But your responsibility is for those people who name drop you, yeah. Like, you take the instance of having a restaurant that has a hepatitis breakout, yeah. You could have someone who refuses to wear gloves. Yeah. In today's world, it's very important that the people who prepare your food at fast food restaurants wear gloves. Even you as a criminal will have to buy some kind of takeaway at some point in your life. So you can't promote um people who do that. Somebody could a manager could tell an operative, could you wear gloves? And then he starts name dropping some big ass criminal. Yeah. And then the manager says, "Oh, okay, okay, you don't have to wear the gloves." And then he gives everyone hepatitis B. And then you go into that restaurant, hepatitis A, I think they get. And then you go into that restaurant and you catch hepatitis, but it's on you. So social responsibility is also your concern and fairness. So what you do with a person like that, you know the people that name drop, yeah. You know, yeah. You know, like, so when somebody drops your name and is saying he dropped your name to make sure he doesn't wear gloves at the restaurant, you hold him up. You call him and say, "Look, man, wear the fucking gloves," and you deal with him the way criminals deal with people, and you let him know that it's for in the interest of public health, because if he stops wearing gloves, then he starts to have a bandwagon. People start to live off your bandwagon, then they create bandwagons of people who live off them when they live off your bandwagon. Yeah. So then other people won't wear their gloves, and that's gonna increase the likelihood, because people do freaky shit nowadays. There's stuff that's legal now that used to be taboo and forbidden back in the old days. So we never used to worry that much. But now people are openly doing some freaky shit, yeah, and contaminating our food when they prepare it. So you got to make sure you don't promote people who don't wear gloves at restaurants. I had to be specific, yeah, because I don't eat takeaway food anymore. Because I saw a man um, not wearing his gloves, touching my food like I was preparing it. I complained, but he was acting like he knows some big people. He's working in the restaurant. He was acting like he knows some big people, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm not on that. I could fuck you up right now. Yeah, I could fucking gorge your eyes out like in an instant like that. But I said, all right, yeah. I left it. I left the restaurant. Never came back again. So I don't eat fast food anymore, and takeaways and shit. And you hear McDonald's had a hepatitis A breakout and things like that. I knew that will happen. But criminals, you whose name those people drop, need to take responsibility for the people that's on your bandwagon that claim they know you to get from A to B. Yeah, law enforcement is the same. Yeah, there's women who build up bandwagons on the back of another law enforcement man. A law enforcement man starts acting big with you. Yeah, and someone on their bandwagon, yeah, starts to mess around with you and perpetrate against you. Yeah. So somebody will see a law enforcement man acting like he's gonna do you something, then they start doing witchcraft on you. You gotta hold up that man and say, look, stop doing witchcraft on people. Yeah? Stop. Law enforcement, it should be easier for you to control your bandwagon. Because when you catch them doing something, you've got something on them already, and your law enforcement, whenever you want to shut them down, you just write it up. Yeah? What I noticed with law enforcement bandwagons, the perpetrators that would drop a law enforcement name, yeah, will say, "Oh, I know a big sergeant or a big captain or whatever in the police or something." Those are people who do heavy ass witchcraft on people, like, and they walk around like with a chip on their shoulder because they know some big law enforcement man. The same way as people who know a big criminal walk around. Those two criminals, yeah, you need to have the concept of social responsibility, yeah. Now we'll move on to fairness, yeah. Fairness is like simple, like in terms of criminals. If a man's got one apple, yeah, don't steal from him or encourage people to steal from him. You steal from a man who's got two apples, yeah. If a man's just got enough for himself, you don't steal from him. But if he's got surplus, you steal this. Be fair, be fair, yeah. And if a man is got is a nothing in this world, he's got nothing, yeah. Don't harass him as law enforcement. Don't harass him, yeah. If a man has got the whole world, yeah, then that's the one that you know, that's the one that you deal with. You don't. If somebody is below average, yeah, in terms of economy and society and politics, don't victimize him, yeah. You deal with people who are surplus in terms of economic gain, yeah, political gain and social gain. People who are surplus, those are the ones you harass. Those are the ones you do your police deterrence and things like that. People who are surplus, yeah. You deal with surplus. There used to be a crime called skimming, where they just skim off the top, yeah, and that used to be a crime where they just take the surplus and no one will miss it. You can't call that a crime, man. Yeah. If somebody says um there's a payment and it's $5.59 point five, who's gonna miss the point five? You don't call that a crime. Yeah, but they had to be greedy. The greedy had to make crimes where there's no crime because they're greedy. They've got surplus already, yeah, but they don't want their things touched because they're greedy, yeah. But if you're a proprietor, a merchant, and you're only making enough to feed your family and yourself, you shouldn't really victimize those people. But those who are making enough to even open up franchises and shit like that, yeah, that's a different story, yeah. So that's what I wanted you to think about. Social responsibility and fairness in both law enforcement and the criminal world. Yeah, because those are the two people that breed perpetrators in their bandwagons. Those are not the perpetrators. The law enforcement and the criminals are not the perpetrators. It's their bandwagon. Yeah, those are the ones who do most damage to us targeted individuals. That's why I appeal to the law enforcement and criminals to please deal with your bandwagon so that you can be socially responsible and bring about fairness for the innocent. Because when you're in the community, you're an innocent, and you don't want your bandwagon to come back to bite you because of what they've been doing.